And what is going on? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. As always, I am joined by none other than yours truly, my man that ain't even ready right now, D Rose, and his favorite part of the show before we can really get it started. Here we go. That is Dorian Rose's favorite part of the show. This is the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. I am Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen, and we didn't have any fights this past weekend, but it's all right. We're here to give you some news that happened over this past week, and also what me and D have been looking forward to for a while now. We got UFC 287, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira, number 2 or number 4, whichever one you want to call it. But we're going to talk about that fight here today as well. But before we get started, if you guys wouldn't mind, be so kind, hit a thumbs up on that for us down there. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the Golden Octagon MMA YouTube channel. So Dorian, right before we get started, let the people know how you've been over this past week with no UFC fights. Did you win any bets? Did you bet any PFL or anything like that? And then we'll hop in, shouting out the chat as a few people start to pop in here.
Man, no, I actually didn't. I stayed away from it for the most part. It was a lot of March Madness for college basketball. So really the only time I ever end up watching college basketball is just when there's a little bit of stakes on the line. So watched a little bit of that over the weekend. And there were some good championship games. So I love a game with some stakes on it, especially like the NCAA tournament. You know, they all come out and it's almost similar to the PFL tournament. You know, you lose and you're out, and you got one chance to make it. You know, to win that title. So, but it was pretty cool. But I guess gambling wise, I didn't really bet anything, so I didn't have to worry about losing anything. So thank goodness for that.
Hey man, well at least you didn't lose any money, you know. That's not too
bad. Well, that's the plus, because it seems like at this point I'm just making donations to FanDuel, just making sure that they get at least $25 per week.
Yeah, me on the other hand, I was one of those contributors, not for PFL. Not for FanDuel, but for DraftKings, because for some reason DraftKings had all the options, like as they would for all the UFC fights. They had like the parlays and the overs and all that for PFL. So I was like, you know what? I know most of the fighters fighting, or at least some of the fighters fighting. So I made a parlay this past weekend for a like a 6-leg parlay, picking all the UFC fighters, and needless to say, that definitely fell out.
Yeah, I had no surprise there, and dude, like I said, at this point, I've just become a steady contributor to FanDuel's account, man. And it's always like on the parlays. I swear, it is always one leg. Like I could go through and screen cap probably my last 3 or 4 that I've lost, and it's probably like 3 or 4 leg parlays that could have paid me out some big money had that one leg hit, and damn near every time it never comes through.
Bro, how many times have I sent you like a screenshot of like an 8-leg that's just one leg is hit, or like a fucking 7-leg, one leg is gone, dude? It breaks my heart because
you're like, dude, should I cash? I'm like, cash, or you're like, damn, I wish I could cash, and it won't give you an option to.
Yeah, because the payout's too high. They're like, man, fuck this guy. We're not paying him. Yeah, man. But before we get started too much into the show, let's shout out the chat. So what's going on? Glad you came by, Swayze Dalton. Came for the prediction, stayed for the Aspen Lad PC, brother. Dorian, I continue to get Aspen
Lad. What's up, Swayze?
It doesn't make any sense.
That's your favorite fighter, man. I mean, she was a dog. Hey, she was inspired to knock out your girl Yana, so that's that moment lives with you forever now.
Austin saying that's what Matt's known for best. CKM number 4. And, is he asking?
I think in reference to you saying, is it number 4 for this fight, or is it number 2 for
Okay.
MMA, number 4
Yeah.
overall? I think that's what
I
he's
got
referencing.
you. Gotcha. Makes sense. Lightning than strike 4 times. Let's go, Poton. All right. It was so I was so desperate for something this past weekend that I signed up for free fight trial and watched Fight Circus 6. Wow, what an absolute
Oh,
shit show.
oh, dude! Speaking of, just because Austin had brought up watching just some other stuff, did you happen to catch any of the game bred boxing over this past weekend?
I rewatched Anthony Pettis beat Roy Jones. Like I saw the highlights of that, so I was like, "That wow, that's pretty cool." I mean, Roy Jones is basically 60, but
Right, yeah, that's the point. Like you're fighting someone who is literally, I mean, he like a shell of himself. Like, well, I mean, 20 years past his prime. So,
yeah,
I thought that was a little weird.
and then I saw Jose Aldo and Jeremy Stevens fought to a draw. So I was like, oh, well, I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, no, I actually ended up going back and watching the Vitor and Jacare fight because I heard people say that was a really good fight. So I actually ended up going back and watching it, and it was a steady Vitor fight, dude. Just coming out, guns blazing like the first 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden just deep breaths. He's dropped Jacare a couple times. Jacare gets up and starts landing big shots, but man, it looks so weird seeing it. Even Vitor boxing, like I could see Vitor boxing, seeing Jacare out there, like it just looks so weird seeing him box. I don't know if I want to keep seeing that. Even though he was fighting an MMA guy that he's already beaten in MMA, maybe he just felt confident in that sense. But I don't know if I want to see
Why is he
Jacare
not out
boxing.
there entering jiu-jitsu tournaments? Like, what is he doing?
Right. I mean, either that or I'm sure hell he could probably be coaching or something like that by now. I mean, Jorge Masvidal's little promotion, they might have came out and paid him big bread in order to take that fight. I mean, that's the only thing that I can kind of think, and I could tell that just based on the matchups they had, Aldo, Stevens, Jacare, and Vitor, they kind of got guys matched up that were familiar with one another. So I guess that makes a little bit of sense. But Jacare just did not look right boxing at all, man. I'd rather see him in like PFL or Bellator or something, man. It just seems like he just needs to like go in for some big hooks and then go in for a takedown and try to take somebody's arm off. Like that's just how I'm used to seeing Jacare fight now.
Yeah. All of my fight watching action happened. I just watched PFL, and I watched opener, which was Impa Kasanganai versus some dude that I don't know, and he won. So I was like, hell yeah! And I got all the way to the Christoph Jocko fight or the Thiago Santos fight, which both of them fucking lost. So I was like, well, there goes my parlay. And
dude,
Marlon
when I
sure as hell didn't, but I didn't fucking bet Marlon. I knew he was gonna lose.
dude, I cannot believe that Marlon Rice at this point is still getting fights and getting taken out of there by leg kicks this
He
time.
just has
Like,
to lose every way now, so he has to lose probably by like broken arm next.
yeah, like like it's going to be like some wild like doctor stoppage. Like he's going to have like the freaking Gregory Rodriguez split on his head. Like, and then all of a sudden they go like, "Yep, fight's over." Like it's just like he loses in the most bonker ways. Even in fights where he's doing good, like Shaman Moraes, he was doing good in that fight before he ended up getting knocked out. We know the Marab fight, he was doing good in that fight before he got knocked out. It's just sad to see where Marlon has gotten to this point, man, because I was actually like thinking about this dude, like on his climb up, like think about it, man, like he knocked out Aljamain Sterling. He knocked out Jimmy Rivera. Jimmy Rivera only had one loss in MMA at all before Marlon Moraes had knocked him out, and I believe he was the first person to finish Rafael Assunção. Like he was like on this wild run, just finishing dudes, and it was after that Henry Cejudo fight. Man, I know he got the Aldo win. Technically, Aldo didn't finish him, but man, I do believe that Cejudo ended up breaking him, and we just hadn't seen the same Marlon Moraes since.
Fair enough, dude. I just don't want to see him fight again. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
All right, so as I said, kind of jumped the gun a little bit earlier, but on today's show, we're going to give some UFC fight news and fight announcements, ones that have recently been announced. I'm going to throw him to Dorian. He's going to give me his opinion on them, or if he cares about them, and then we're just going to jump into our picks and preview this weekend's fights because that's what all y'all are here for. Let's be honest. All right, man. So just real quick, let me pull up my banner. Real quick, this big news. I've heard all the people ask all the fighters, all the media day. So what's the deal with the UFC owner buying WWE, and does it really impact the UFC at all? Do you see any changes happening or anything like that?
Well, it's just so early in the process right now. It's just really kind of hard to get a determination on how they kind of want to do it. But we have seen wrestlers and MMA fighters kind of end up kind of crossing into each other's worlds, and we know how Brock Lesnar has kind of gone back and forth in terms of coming over and being a fighter, and then going back and doing the WWE thing, and he would kind of leverage one for the other when he was in his prime. And I think you're seeing a lot of guys now, and I think we were kind of talking about it in a private conversation, but I believe Henry Cejudo, Jorge Masvidal, there was a couple of guys like that who have done some AEW in the past, had done some wrestling. So when they might be interested in actually doing a little bit of cross promotion, and maybe it would be done a little bit easier with everything being in-house rather than the two entities kind of being against one another. They just form this one super group and kind of join forces. And if there is a chance of anyone wanting to cross over, there's that opportunity.
Fair enough, dude. I've pretty much feel the same way you do. Like the only two people that I can see like who would have like a big enough name to in the future would be Bo Nickel on the UFC side, and then Gable Steveson from there to the UFC. I believe he could be like the next generation Brock for the most part. Looks like we got a comment in here. Do you think cross promotion will hurt UFC? Definitely not. I think for the most part, the more eyes, the better for the most part. Like when Brock first came over like to the UFC, that's when like the most eyes were ever on the UFC. That is like pretty much at the point that I consider like UFC became like a big sport, that I'm like, oh shit, people actually like watch this, is when Brock came over and he brought a whole lot of eyes. So I think it's only for the best. How about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, Brock was definitely one of the bigger influences in my young MMA fandom. You know, he was one of the big reasons why. Yeah, I mean, I always credit Anderson Silva for being like the fighter who kind of kept me there. But Brock Lesnar, I was a big WWE fan when I was a kid, and I like Brock Lesnar, and I ended up kind of going over with Brock Lesnar to the UFC, and I ended up kind of growing a little bit of a hatred, because I didn't really like him in WWE, but I was interested to see, oh man, how is he going to transfer over into fighting? And I'd be interested to see if fighters are willing to do the same thing, or wrestlers are willing to do the same thing. And those wrestlers do have big star power. You know, the guys at the top of the sport have big star power. And if there's interest there, it could very well help the UFC if they wanted to come over and do something. I mean, look, when CM Punk fought, I mean, look how much hype CM Punk got when he came in. And dude never had a fight before in his life. Yeah, I mean, dude, he had no experience whatsoever. But they ended up promoting him, and people loved him, and they ended up following him and watching him. So I think it could only help the UFC, really.
Do you think they add WWE ads in UFC pay-per-views? Bro, haven't they like already? Like I've like heard like a few things, like I've heard them promote some of the WWE stuff like here and there, but it's not like often. But I'm sure since they're the owners of, it'll honestly probably be pretty often there.
Yeah,
but to be fair, I don't really care. Like fucking John X saying tomorrow night catch, fucking SummerSlam, as where like usually he's like, this is fucking brought to you by Celsius or like whatever. It's like no one cares. No one cares that this is brought to you by proper number 12, just to be honest. So it's like I don't really care what he says there.
Right. I mean, and I don't think there's going to be anything as far as maybe, I don't know if, because the way I kind of took the question with that, they would kind of like lump their own pay-per-views together. I mean, the way that I understand that the WWE does. I've heard people talk about it, that they say that if you have a subscription to the WWE network, that you can, I believe you get the pay-per-views for free.
That would be dope, dude. I would love to pay like shit, even $100 a year and get all the pay-per-views for free, dude, because that's like less than 2 pay-per-views, you know. So
yeah, I mean, dude, I pay $200 a year. I mean, think about it. You pay freaking $200 in I guess technically 2.5 months. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. For this instance, 2 months. So yeah, I'd like to have freaking $200 a year, and I'd be able to go ahead and get the pay-per-views for the year. So there would be something awesome if there could be some type of structure worked up like that, but the UFC's got such a grip on the fans now. They keep jacking up the prices, and and the worst part is suckers like ourselves, man. We keep them going in and buying it anyway. So they got the iron fist grip on their fandom.
Yeah, man. Aloha, my friend. Drop in to show some support and smash that like button number 7. Aloha to everyone in the chat. Well, thank you, Hawaiian 50. I appreciate it, brother. And if he is like button number 7, there are 10 people watching live, so why not help you boys out over here? Hit that like button for us. That would be fantastic.
What up, Hawaiian 50?
WWE pay-per-views are actually totally free on Peacock. Oh, shows you how much we know, dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, why couldn't the UFC do something with ESPN Plus to say, hey, you got this much as far as you pay per year to ESPN Plus, and the pay-per-views are free. Why can't we get something like that?
Or just like a discounted price, or like 3 a year for free because you're like a ESPN Plus subscriber.
Yeah, like buy one get one free type deal. Like we buy one and then the next month, we go ahead and re-up because we bought the one from last month too. Especially if it's a bad card too. Like if they had, which I give them credit, their pay-per-views have kind of card. Hey, yeah, their pay-per-views are kind of delivered the last couple times. Well, dude, I mean, Usman in his last few fights, he had actually delivered for the most part as far as the knockouts that he had. But no, I think there's a very good chance that Leon is going to be the one that's going to go ahead and take that boring mantle and run with it as far as boring champion.
Yeah. All right, man. So we don't spend too much time. I'm going to give you some fights that have been announced over this past week. Give me your thoughts and opinions on them. Did I give you last week Jake Matthews is out and Gabe Green will now fight Brian Battle on May 13th? Speaking of May 13th, you want to let the people know? We may or may not be attending that event.
Trying to make some moves, trying to make some things happen. I gotta do some arm twisting with my mom and the kids.
Not even like the best tickets. It's like $300 a ticket.
It's definitely brutal. But yeah, dude, that's a pretty good card too. I didn't realize that it was Jake Matthews. I remember you saying Jake Matthews had a different opponent, but I didn't realize it was Brian Battle. Man, that's actually pretty.
No, it was Gabe Green. I was going to fight Jake Matthews.
Oh, okay. So that's
Jake Matthews is out. Gabe Green versus Brian Battle.
Man, Brian Battle's got to chill with taking these short notice fights against guys like that because, I mean that's not an easy fight either. But that should be a good one though.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got Danger Matt Schnell going to be taking on David Dvorak, added to UFC 289, June 10th. Care about that one?
Not as much as I know you care about seeing your boy Matt Schnell back in action, man.
All right, moving along. Blake Builder is going to be taking on Kyle Nelson, UFC 289, June 10th. Care about that one?
Not really.
All right. This one I do care about. On June 17th, we have a headlining main event. Josh Emmett taking on Ilya Topuria, man. Give me your thoughts on it.
It's an absolute banger. I think we ended up talking about it last week. I felt like we did at the end of the show, but yeah, that'll be an absolute banger. Josh Emmett coming off the title loss to Yair. It was a little bit of a tough loss, but him and Topuria do have a similar style where they short, stocky, big hands. They're super quick. Not the most technical with their boxing, but they go out there and they're throwing heat and they're going out there to take one another's heads off. So for as long as that fight lasts, it should be a damn good one. But Topuria is on his way up, and man, if he beats Josh Emmett, there's a very good chance that he could be fighting for the title next, or at worst, be one fight away.
Yeah. Collectible was saying, I'm surprised Josh came back so quick, just like you, man. Yeah. We got Dan 50K Ige taking on someone that just fought, someone that I get up out of my seat for. Nate the Train Landwehr, UFC 289, June 10th as well, man. Give me your thoughts on that one.
That should be a pretty good one. And Dan Ige, he definitely comes a bang as well. And he's a crowd pleaser when it comes to his fights. He goes out there and gives it his all. And he's not the most technical either, but he'll go out there and he throws leather with the best of them. He's got pretty good power, and he's got a damn good jab. I think wasn't it Gavin Tucker that or no, it wasn't a jab. He kind of caught him with the right cross, but he's got good counters, and Nate Landwehr, we know the wild man he is, so that should be another one as long as it lasts, should be an absolute banger.
All right. My card store in Houston support match now. Bro, he would be a fun fighter. I would maybe enjoy him if he just gets knocked out. He just gets touched on the chin and gets those deer legs, dude. And he just rushes back into it and gets hit again. It's like, hey, man, stop doing that. I just don't think he's the best fighter in the world. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, he's not terrible. He's not terrible. Let's at least give him that. I mean, we seen the comeback that he had. Was it Sumandarji? Yeah. We seen that comeback. You know, he's super tough, but maybe not the most technical.
All right, man. Your girl, Stephanie Egger, is returning April 29th. Care about that one?
Who is she fighting?
Against a UFC newcomer from Bellator. I'm not even going to try to say her name. It sounds Russian.
Nah.
No. All right. Chris Barnett, is out for this weekend, and Carl Williams stepping in to take on Chase Sherman. So we will talk about that. Michelle Pereira going to be taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson June 10th, UFC 289. Thoughts on that?
That should be a really good one. And I know Michelle's been kind of calm for that fight for a little bit too. And I know you've kind of lost some fandom in him, but he has put on what I think he's won. How many has he won in a row at this point now?
I don't think he's lost in the UFC besides maybe once, like to the
Well, he had the DQ against Diego Sanchez, and then he had the loss Christian
Connolly. But I think he's just won since then, right?
Yeah, no, I think he's on like a 4 or 5 fight win streak, something like that. So he's kind of sneakily got some momentum, and getting a win against a guy like Wonderboy very well could put him in the top 8 of the division, and could get him surprisingly enough, get him maybe close to a title shot, man. Maybe not the next guy up, but getting himself up there.
Austin saying he could beat me up, probably Matt Schnell. To be honest, he could probably beat me up. I'm no UFC fighter, but I just feel like at a certain point, it's like a person that's way bigger than you, and you with not the best chin in the world, just swinging bows. So something might knock him out. Just gonna throw that out there. There we are. Really looking forward to Pereira versus Thompson. All right, man. So moving on up, one of your favorites, dude, still doing the damn thing, and someone that I cannot stand. So I cannot wait for this fight. We got Michael the Menace Johnson going to be taking on Diego Ferreira May 20th at lightweight. Care about that?
Yeah, I got a feeling that Michael Johnson is going to end up having to put on his wrestling singlet, because I think Carlos is going to try to end up wrestling him half to death, and going to try to make it as slow of a fight as he can. But I'm a fan of Michael Johnson, just his lightning quick hands. Dude's boxing is just super crisp. I actually went back and watched that first Justin Gaethje fight the other day, and dude, there were so many opportunities that he had with his counters that he landed on Gaethje to get him out of there. Dude, his boxing was, I mean, just absolutely crisp in his counters. And even now, still had that hand speed at what he's 38 years old at this point. So,
Yeah.
I'll always root for Michael Johnson, but it just depends on what Michael Johnson shows up.
Me too, brother. Me too. I for sure hope that he gets done because I really don't like Diego Ferreira. But that's just me. What's your thoughts on where'd it go? Francis's whole situation right now, man, with him talking to the BKFC guy and asking for way too much money even to fight BKFC.
I mean, I don't know how serious that Francis really would be in fighting BKFC because he actually, I mean, he's kind of more mentioned that he's wanted to box, not really fighting BKFC. So, I mean, if he's saying, "Oh, if I want to attend this circus, y'all clowns are gonna have to pay me so and so amount in order to fight in that place," because I mean, I don't think there's going to be many people who are going to be able to pay as much as a potential Deontay Wilder. I don't think Tyson Fury is going to happen. I just don't see how that can happen anyway.
I just have a hard time seeing him getting paid more than $8 million for anything. That's what UFC was going to pay him, yeah? I think he just dropped the ball. I think he dropped the ball.
Yeah, no, I think he probably overshot his value a little bit, but I think what he had really tied it to was sort of the fighter demands that he had made. When he had made the fighter demands on, I think it was like more benefits basically to him as far as like health care and stuff like that. He said that was really what was kind of the I guess the fork in the road that they kind of came to at that point in the negotiations. And I don't really think it was for the money, but I think as far as the money value, unless you're going to end up boxing, let's say Deontay Wilder, I don't know how you're going to make more.
Bro, even if he fucking boxes Deontay Wilder's going to make like 20 million and a fucking Francis might make 5. That's still not what he would have made to fight in the UFC. Like, because be honest, how much is that selling really? 100,000?
I mean, it depends. Just because Deontay Wilder, I'm not buying it because it's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be $100 a pop. Well, so let's say this because that would be a fight that I would really be interested in. If that card is good enough, I could potentially, just because I'd be so intrigued to see a Wilder and Ngannou fight. Like, dude, could you imagine like the two heaviest hitters like from MMA and boxing just getting in the ring and just swinging at one another? Like, yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to watch.
Just wait until 15 minutes after and see the highlights everywhere and not pay $100 because that's what's gonna happen. Tank Niner, holy shit! I finally made it to a live video. Well, we appreciate you stopping by here today, brother. We truly do appreciate it. Yeah, man. So that's pretty much all the news. You want to jump into the fights for this weekend, man, or do you got any other news or things that you want to speak about before we make our picks? Put this pick champ up on the line.
Nah, man. Well, coming back for that belt, baby.
All right, whatever you say, brother. Whatever you say. So let's just get into it. Let me pull my screen up here. Share. Boom. All right, Dorian, can you see the screen? And if anything happens, you have to let me know because right now I am on the screen that you guys are looking at. I can't see the stream.
Yes, sir.
So if you're the comment checker and such, if we have a comment, you got to let me know so I can go back to that screen so I can pull it up. All right. So, let me get off our news and fight announcements banner and put up our UFC 287 preview and picks banner, right? Because that's what we're doing.
We're making picks, baby.
That's what we're doing over here.
We're doing it for the belt.
Yeah. So this weekend, y'all, UFC 287, Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. Number 2. This is going to be taking place at Miami-Dade Arena. The first time they've been here in 20 years. I watched the countdown earlier, so that's pretty interesting. My mouse stopped working, so I get to use this on my laptop. So we have 13 fights. Our main event of the night is going to be obviously Alex Poatan Pereira taking on the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. We got Gilbert Durinho Burns taking on Jorge Gamebred Masvidal.
Can I say real quick that dude,
up?
that the fight poster looks so weird. It looks like
But did you see the
Izzy is
one
about to fight
that I put
Jorge.
on the thing because I absolutely hated that one?
Yeah, no, but it looks like Alex is about to fight Gilbert Burns and Izzy is about to fight Jorge.
Like fucking this what I put on there because I was like, that fight poster sucks ass. I want to use this one instead.
Yeah, nah, that one's a lot more dope than the current one. Yeah, I don't like how they have it stacked like that. Like just do it to where the opponents face off like you normally do, and it'd be fine. That's all you had to do. Just put Izzy in place and Gilbert Burns, and all you had to do is swap them, and they'd be fine.
Dude, it was just weird. I like it's like y'all don't ever put people that are fighting people underneath them. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
We got I don't think Rob Font has a nickname, right? Rob Font taking on Adrian Yanez. We got the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland taking on the Argentine Dagger, Santiago Ponzinibbio. We got Raul Rosas Jr. taking on Christian Rodriguez. We got Kelvin Gastelum taking on the Action Man, Chris Curtis. We got Michelle, the Karate Hottie, Watterson Gomez taking on Luana Peñejo. We got GM round 3, Gerald Mearshart taking on Joe Bodybags Pfeiffer. We got Carl Williams taking on Chase Sherman. I believe he's the Tank. No, he's the Vanilla Gorilla, right? Something like that. Who's the Tank? I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting somebody confused. We got Cynthia Calvillo taking on Lupita Lupi Godinez. We got Trey. I believe he's like the Samurai Ghost Ogden taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. We haven't seen him in a while, dude. Glad to see Ignacio Bahamondes back. We got Steve Garcia taking on Shailin Nordenbecca. And we got Sam Page Hughes taking on UFC newcomer Jacqueline Amarim, dude. So that is where we will start. So once again, if nice of you if you would just hit that thumbs up button up for us if you haven't, and just leave all your thoughts in the comments. We love to talk to y'all, and we love to put them up on the screen and chat with y'all, get y'all's input. Do y'all think we're wrong, or get y'all's input on who y'all are picking this weekend? So that being said, we got Sam Page taking on Jackie, dude. So looks like, yeah, no comments. We are called up, everyone here, just for the picks. So, wow. Boom, boom, boom. Where we go? Sam Page versus Jackie. Sam Hughes 7-5. Jackie 6-0, dude. Sam Page the plus 200 dog. Jackie the minus 250 favorite, dude. Jackie 6-0, undefeated. Sam Page lost 3 of her last 5. Most recently to Pierre Rodriguez. Has a win over Elise Reed and a win over Estela Nunez. And then this is where it kind of starts getting. This is the closest person to the person she's fighting this weekend, Luana Peñejo. She was undefeated at that point, too. So, that being said, dude, Sam Page, 30 years old, 5'5" with a 64-inch reach. Jacqueline is 27 years old, 5'3" with a 67-inch reach. So, she does have a 2-inch height disadvantage, but a 3-inch reach advantage, dude. Dude, I'm gonna let you go first here. This UFC newcomer, minus 250 favorite. Let's take a look real quick because I do know why already, dude. 6-0, all like 6 first round finishes, dude. She was the LFA champion currently right now. Yeah. Round 1 armbar win, round 1 knee bar win, round 1 knockout, 10 seconds into round 1, dude. Round 1 rear naked choke, round 1 triangle, round 1 armbar, dude. So that's what we're getting into. She's a round 1 killer for the most part. Kind of looks like Valerie Loreto, if you ask me. But yeah, man, who you got? I'm gonna let you pick first here.
Honestly, I just don't have any faith in Sam Hughes. And the only thing that worries me though is that for Jacqueline, with her being a newcomer and with her only having first round finishes,
dude, like in like a 10-second round 1 knockout.
Right. Right. I mean, are you used to going, the long haul? I mean, I think, Sam Hughes has gone to decision a couple times. Win, lose, or draw. I'm curious to see how Jacqueline's going to be able to handle that. But let's say Jacqueline, man, because I mean, Sam Hughes is okay, but not for me to be confident on.
She's tough and has a gas tank, and that's why I picked her win this fight. Just because I don't know shit about Jacqueline, I do know Sam Page is at least has a decent chin, and she's got a gas tank. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna take that against the no UFC experience, just round one finishes. Looks like Austin agreeing with me as well. I'm going Sam Hughes as a big female dog this weekend, dude. I've done it a few times these past times. I'm not the most confident in the world because I got to be honest, I've done no research on Jacqueline, just aside from, she's got all first round finishes. What else is there to see, That being said, got to go Sam Hughes. Dorian going Jackie. So that may or may not be our first pick for the week because we are going to try to have 5. I am your current reigning and defending pick champ of the week. Don't forget it. Had a few weeks now. Putting up on the line this week. That may or may not be our first one. We're going to have 5 this week. So I am going Sam Page. Dorian is going Jackie. So moving on up to the next fight. We got where'd it go? I think Steve Garcia's got a dumb nickname. Come on, hurry up and load. Mean Machine, exactly. All right, we got Mean Machine Steve Garcia taking on Shailene Wolverine Nordin-Becky. 13-5 for Mean Machine, 39-10 for Shailene, dude. Shailene's got so many fights. Shailene's
dude, going for his 50th fight. That is crazy. Dude. He's 28 years old going for his 50th fight. How?
Exactly.
That's nuts.
Mean Machine plus 180 dog. Steve Garcia, 30 years old, 6 foot, 73-inch reach. Shailene, 28 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. So Steve Garcia going to have a height and a reach advantage, dude. In my opinion, both these dudes got power. Both these dudes are pretty good. And both these dudes don't have the best chin in the world. So this should be a hell of a fight, if you ask me. But personally, I'm going to ride Shailene Nordin-Becky here just because I've just seen Steve Garcia get dropped a whole lot more than I've seen Shailene get dropped. But that's just my opinion. I'm going Shailene. Which way you going here, man?
Yeah, I think that Nordin-Becky, he's a dog, but wasn't he the one that was involved in the Derek Minner fight?
Dude, I'm guessing that fight, was not rigged or whatever, because it's still counting as a dub for him right there. See,
right. That's what I was curious at how they had scored that for him, but he is a savage though, and I mean, dude, to have 50 fights, that is absolutely nuts. Steven Garcia is a little bit explosive. The only thing that does worry me is that reach. Oof. Man.
Here's Steve Garcia last get the dub against Chase Hooper, dude. He knuckled up Chase Hooper.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, dude. I remember that, and he
got knocked out by Mahashate, dude. I think he dropped him a few times before he actually knocked him out too, and knocked out Charlie Altaveras, but that's not saying much because that dude
and he lost
with the broccoli Rob hair.
And he lost to Luis Pena, so he's kind of been on the streak of win one, lose one. So
he's just not fighting that often.
Yeah, nah.
He had 4 fights in 3 years. That's not often.
And like I say, he's been pretty consistent with win one, lose one. So let's say he's gonna lose this one.
All right, me and Dorian both going Shailene Wolverine Nordin-Becky here. Moving on up, man. One that I'm a fan of, dude. Trey Ogden taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. The Samurai Ghost versus La Haula. 16-5 for Trey Ogden, 13-4 for Ignacio Bahamondes. Trey Ogden plus 245 dog. Ignacio minus 2.9 favorite. Trey Ogden, 33 years old, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. Ignacio, 25 years old, 6'3" with a 75-inch reach, dude. And what are the odds that Trey Ogden fights two guys with the same frame in a row, dude? Last time he fought Daniel Zellhuber. And, dude, I don't know. I didn't know a whole lot about Daniel Zellhuber, but everyone was like, this kid's so good. But this is while the James Krause podcast was going on still. And, like, James Krause was so adamant. He was like, bro, we got a game plan. Watch this. He, like he was like, y'all gonna see. So I think I put it in my fucking parlay or something like that. And dude, he beat Daniel Zellhuber. I was like, oh shit. So that was pretty interesting to see. Unfortunately, I don't know if Daniel Zellhuber was just kind of shook being in his UFC debut or not. But Ignacio Bahamondes, been here a few times, has at least one crazy highlight KO, spinning back kick over Roosevelt Roberts. And dude, he walks forward, he gets hit, but he also hits. I'm going Ignacio Bahamondes here, but he's a minus 300 favorite, so I didn't feel like that was anything outside of what I should have said. How about you, man? Which way are you going here?
Yeah, not going out on a limb. According to FanDuel, he is a minus 350 favorite.
Oh,
so,
wow. So
yeah,
Austin going Ogden here.
Yeah, Austin, that's pretty surprising. Trey Ogden has been solid, but didn't he lose to Jordan Levitt too? Which I always give people
split
crap
decision
for.
with Jordan.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. So he can grind through a fight. And didn't Bahamondes lose to Jim Miller? So was it Jim Miller? Who was that loss to?
John McDessie. Pretty much the same person though.
John McDessie, yeah, very, very similar fighter. Dude, you lost to fucking John McDessie? What the fuck? Like, how did you lose to John McDessie out of all people?
I think that was in his UFC debut, though. Yeah, UFC debut, man.
John McDessie
and a vet.
Holy smokes!
UFC debut versus a vet, dude. How many times have you seen him now? Look what Jim Miller does to these dudes coming in here.
Yeah, but Jim Miller's one thing. Lando Venata is a whole nother. All right, Lando Venata. I'm thinking about Lando Venata because he knocked out John McDessie. But yeah, no, that is kind of bad. But Bahamondes is super explosive, as you said. We're
right now.
We're fans of Bahamondes. Yeah, it actually is. It's going all kinds out of whack. But let's go Bahamondes. As he fights with the camera.
I just turned it off, turned it back on. Can you still hear me though?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
All right. Do I have a? Wow, is it really not going to pop up for me? Y'all give me just a second. What is
as we go through the card?
Wow, brother, this is lame.
It's like you're going to come out with like some surprise. They're going to be like, come out with a mask on. That's what I'm going to wait for.
I'm not. Am I back yet?
It says EOS webcam utility.
What the fuck, bro?
Let's go, baby.
Let's see if I can change it for a second. What up, y'all? I look real bad for a second. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Nice.
No idea what happened there. Just looks terrible. It looks like we're both going Ignacio Bahamondes. Moving on up to the next fight, dude. I have strong feelings about this one, dude. Dorian's favorite female fighter, Cynthia Calvillo, taking on Lupita Lupi Godinez. Cynthia Calvillo, 9-5-1, and 4 of her last 5 losses came in a row. It doesn't make sense, dude. Lupi Godinez, 8-3. Cynthia Calvillo, plus 210 underdog, at least on Tapology. I'm sure odds have changed. Lupi Godinez, minus 270 favorite. Dude, Cynthia Calvillo used to be this young up-and-comer that, they were trying to give sponsorships to. 35 years old for Cynthia Calvillo. 5'4", 64-inch reach. And, dude, she moved up to 125 because she couldn't make 115. And now at 35 years old, she's moving back down to 115. I don't understand. But we'll get into it. Lupi Godinez, 29 years old, 5'2" with a 61-inch reach, dude. I think Lupi finishes Cynthia Calvillo. and she might not knock her out. She might not sub her, but Cynthia Calvillo has been known to quit on the stool. Dude, Lupi is finishing Cynthia Calvillo, and I think odds are like plus 330 for knockout, sub, DQ, anything like that. Who you going this week, man?
Man, it seems like Calvillo in her last couple fights, she's almost just been kind of like fighting to survive. I think she came out and tried to
almost
bring
like
the
she
fight.
comes in there like, damn, I really need some money. What's the least I can do?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, dude. It is like we're just like she's in there just to survive, and just to kind of keep moving. I don't know if she's fighting out her contract and just wanting to make sure she can get out of her contract so she can be a free agent or whatever the case may be. She kind of showed a little bit more of a fight in that Nina Nunes fight, but still overall just disappointing. Now she Nina Nunes was so much time off and coming off of childbirth and was still able to beat Cynthia Calvillo, and it seemed like Calvillo just hadn't been able to progress in her career. But for Lupi, I mean, she was kind of disappointing too because she lost to Angela Hill, right?
dude, and see, that's what I was hoping we would have some better odds because, dude, me and you both, dude, this blew a whole lot of parlays for me on
Yeah,
that fight night because, dude, Lupi Godinez has some of the best wrestling in the division, and she shot like 3 times against Angie Hill, and that's it. Angie Hill had more takedowns and takedown attempts than Lupi did, and it made no sense at all, dude. So yeah, that's just one of those fights where you just got to chalk it up. She said she was sick that fight week, so hopefully she was telling the truth. But Lupi for sure the much better fighter, if you ask me. Let's
yeah,
see. Austin,
definitely.
I'm going Calvillo just because she's coming off a 4-fight win streak and has to win now. Maybe the fire has been reignited. I highly doubt that, especially at 35. But hey, who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe. But it looks like Austin
yeah,
just like Austin going for
going
all
for
the
all the
dogs.
dogs. Yeah, he got all
I
the
mean,
dogs.
Shailen's not the dog, but he did go Shailen. But
Well,
you know,
pretty
it
much
is what it
everybody
is.
else. Yeah, pretty much all the other dogs. He is. Yeah, Austin
Three
is a man of dogs.
dog.
But
I don't know about
let's
dog.
go Loopy.
All
I'm
right,
going
bet.
Loopy here, man.
All right. You think LSU finishes her, or you think it goes to decision?
I think it is a decision. I think Calvillo survives.
All right, man. Let's see if we have a different pick here. We got Carl Williams taking on Chase, the Vanilla Gorilla Sherman. Carl Williams 8-1, just fought a few weeks ago against Lucas Dretsky. Pretty much Russell fucked him for 3 rounds. Pretty much has no finishing instinct. Chase Sherman 16-11, dude. Dude, what's his UFC record? It's got to be negative, right? What's Chase Sherman's
Uh,
UFC record?
I'd
Can
have
we
to
find out
imagine.
just his UFC record?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to imagine he's under 500 in
Look.
the UFC.
Do you see that?
4-10. Holy smokes, dude!
Oh my goodness, I
I
love
cannot
it.
believe it's just crazy to see that he's been in the UFC that long. That's the crazy part, that they've actually hung on to him for as long as they have.
Bro, they've cut him a few times. Don't act like he's been in the UFC that whole time.
I know, but I'm saying like he came back during like 2020. It's just like he's just lingered kind of around
Because they
ever
just need
since.
someone for a heavyweight to beat up.
Yeah, just a
That's what
random
they say.
fill in on like a random fight night. Yep, let's go ahead and throw Chase Sherman in
Dude,
there, and he'll be
I
the
don't
perfect
know.
beat up dummy.
I don't know what Chase Sherman does more. Fix his hair or get punched in the face. It's just what he does. But let's get into this fight, dude. Carl Williams minus 500 favorite. Chase Sherman plus 385 dog. 33 years old. 6'3" with a 79-inch reach for Carl Williams. Chase Sherman, 33 years old, 6'4" with a 78-inch reach, dude. So they're going to be about the same size here for the most part. Dude, Carl Williams never fought anyone that on the level that Chase Sherman has fought. But on the other hand, Carl Williams is great at takedowns, dude. And we know Chase Sherman's takedown defense is about as good as a third grader. So that being said, dude, and once he's there, he just lays there. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything at all. Dude, I have to go Carl Williams here by the most boring decision on earth. Probably going to not be watching this fight if I'm going to be honest. Who you picking here and which way you going?
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't really sum it up too much better than
Williams will win,
what
but
you
the match
said.
will be so boring. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly right.
yeah, yeah. Austin kind of took my analysis away from me. I think exactly that. I think it'll just be a wrestling match. I think he'll hold Chase down and be able to grind him out and get the win. I think it'd just be that simple.
Yeah, fair enough, brother. Dude, it'd be cool if, dude, when does Chase Sherman win? Like, who did he beat right here? Jared Vandera? Yeah, oh, yeah, but barely. I mean, that ain't saying much either. And that was in the third round in a shitty ass fight, too. Like, when it's like, hey, Jared, you know he has shitty takedowns. Try to take him down. Nope, just stood and boxed with
Try to
him
stand
and
and
got
bang with
cut
him.
from the UFC. All right, brother. Looks like we're both. Dude, we only have one different pick so far. So moving on up. Still on the prelims though. We do have 13 fights, as I said. So Gerald Mearshart taking on Joe Pyfer. GM round 3. If you guys didn't know, that's his actual name. It's if I can missing a R right here in his name. And Joe body bags Pyfer. GM 3, 35-15. Joe Pyfer 10-2. GM3 plus 155 slight dog. Joe Pyfer minus 180 favorite. GM3, 35 years old, 6'1" with a 77.5-inch reach. Joe Pyfer, 26 years old, 6'2" with a 75-inch reach even. Dude, we are getting all these ads today, aren't we? That being said, brother,
Tapology sends them all.
have I been picking first? I'm gonna let you pick first here. I already have my pick. That being said, I feel like this fight goes one of two ways. This fight either goes GM3 getting knocked out in one of the first 2 rounds, or Gerald Mearshart subbing Joe Pyfer in round 3. So, what's your pick, man?
Well, if you honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I'm having a little bit of tough time going back and forth. So if you know, say who you think is going to.
I got GM3 round 3 submission, dude. You know why not?
Do
That
you?
will be my FanDuel pick this week. I will be looking at the popular tab where it's like the submission props, and it's like sub in round 2 or 3. Like for GM3, that's what I will be playing and hoping for the best. I'll probably put a $5 bill on it, something like that.
Yeah, I can definitely understand because, like I said, I'm actually going kind of back and forth on it a little bit. Because Jeremy Mearshart, he's been really good as of late. He's been able to kind of fend off a lot of the up and comers for the most part. Look how much
he always looks ass in round 1, though.
Yeah, it's almost like a waking up process for him a little bit. He's a very slow starter, but man, he hangs in there, and he's look how much he banged up Bruno Silva. Like Bruno Silva,
That's you.
Dude, Alex Pereira,
dude.
Oh my gosh,
For our fans right here, does Dorian look like Bruno Silva or no?
I don't have the beard though. I need the, you know what I mean. I don't have the full. I need the full thing. Mine ain't as nice as Bruno Silva's. But dude, freaking Alex Pereira could not knock Bruno Silva out and could not like knock him down. But Gerald Mearshart knocked him down on the feet like crazy. So I could definitely see how you're riding with GM3. And honestly, I want to go GM3. I don't think I want to, but I do think Joe Pyfer.
Confident. Like this is going one of two ways.
Yeah, I do think Joe Pyfer has he's got a lot of momentum, and I think he took a little bit of time off to add a little bit of bulk to himself to adjust to the weight class. So I do think that he's going to be a little bit prepared for Gerald Mearshart's wrestling. I don't think that he's going to be able to finish Gerald Mearshart, but I think he'll be able to. I think you're going to see a little bit more Joe Pyfer's wrestling here. I think he's going to end up wrestling GM3 a little bit. I think you're going to see a little bit of a slower fight, but I think it'll be a decision for Joe Pyfer.
All right. Swayze Dog going Gerald.
You had a couple people on your side.
I like to think that Mearshart learned a lot from the Comsat disaster. Bro, if Joe Pyfer uses his wrestling and takes down GM3, that's stupid. He's going to get submitted. That's what... Dude, GM3 has like a 0% takedown accuracy. He just sweeps everyone when he's down there or just subs them while he's down there. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, nah, his sweeps are nasty because he invites it to the ground. That's his biggest
Honestly,
thing.
look at that. I've tapped to Gerald a bunch. We were in the same gym back in 2010. That's pretty dope, dude. That's pretty
Damn. Dan, that's pretty dope. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a savage, and he's been around for a long time. I mean, hell, look, he's won 4 out of his last 5, so it's not like he hadn't been in there and
And against killers
dogging
too.
dudes.
Look, Bruno Silva after knocking him down, choked him. Christoph Jocko, not bad.
Crazy that he lost to Chris Jocko.
Dustin Stoltzfus, Mahmoud Muradov, dude, and he just knocked out Andre Fiallo, dude, right?
No, we hadn't seen Magomedov Miradov in a while.
Probably about a year and 7 months or so.
Yeah, I think it might have been since that fight, since last time we seen Mahmoud Miradov. So crazy, man.
Who? Oh, I'm thinking about fucking Mustafa. Who am I thinking about? I don't know who I'm thinking about, dude.
Yeah, was it the panda?
It was one of the Russian dudes.
Yeah, I thought it was like Kung Fu Panda or something.
The King of Kung Fu. Yeah,
King of Kung Fu. There you go.
Yeah. Moving on up. So that is our second different one of the night. Up next, we got Michelle Watterson Gomez taking on Luana Pinheiro, dude. And to be honest, Luana's never impressed me. She is 10-1, but that don't mean shit to me. The Karate Hottie, 18-10, lost 4 of her last 5 against stiff competition. Though Luana Pinheiro is 10-1. The slight favorite is Luana -165. The Karate Hottie +140 dog. Michelle Watterson, 37 years old, 5'3" with a 62-inch reach. Luana Pinheiro, 29 years old, 5'4", and we have a Town Count center cap wheel, 17-inch on eBay. Thanks for letting us know whatever the hell that is.
Looks like a Chrysler Town and Country, baby. Let's do it.
Luana Pinheiro, 29 years old, 5'4" with a 62-inch reach, dude. Everything in the world is telling me to go Michelle Watterson here, dude. I don't know why she's the dog. She's fought better people. She's better on the feet. Luana gasses. Like Michelle Watterson, she can go 5 rounds. We know she can go 5 rounds. I don't understand why she's the dog here, and I'm going the dog, Michelle Watterson.
Really? Man, I was
Luana 100%. Watterson seems washed. Yeah, like it looks like you might be on Austin's side, brother.
Man, so the only thing is that Luana, you're right, she hasn't fought the competition that Michelle Watterson has fought, but Michelle Watterson has just looked a little uninspired in the last couple of performances.
Against Amanda Lemos.
Yeah, I mean, no. Well, I mean, but Lemos was coming off that loss to Andrade. So, like, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, hey, she's very vulnerable. And she still looked even kind of uninspired in that fight. And she definitely, like, when Lemos sunk in that guillotine, like, she definitely fought it because it took Lemos a little bit before she could actually sink it in completely. But just as far as, like, I don't know, just competitively on the feet, she just seems like she's almost outmatched every time now when it comes to fighting these girls, especially the new up-and-comers. And I just think she's going to be a little bit outgunned, man. I do. I think Michelle Waters is going to be a little bit outgunned. Let's go Pinheiro here.
Official? You're going Luana Pinheiro?
Yeah.
All right, Dorian, I have some homework for you tonight. All right. Please tell me that you'll actually do this fight. Do this homework. I just want you to watch one fight for me. Just one fight. Just watch one fight. And then hopefully your opinion changes. Go back and watch Randa Marcos versus Luana Pinheiro, and I bet hopefully you haven't put any money down on this, or your opinion will change. The fight wasn't too long ago, and she did win via DQ kick in the face, but dude, she was gassed. And she got like pushed off, and it was like a worse attempt than Aljo at acting like something was wrong with her. Dude. It was terrible. But that is our third different pick. I am going Michelle Watterson, Dorian going Luana Pinheiro. So moving on up, next fight on the card, we got KG, Kelvin Gastelum, taking on Chris Curtis, dude. And the odds, once again, kind of throw me off just a little bit here, dude. I would think Chris Curtis would be the favorite, dude, but he's not. He's the dog. Kelvin Gastelum lost 4 of his last 5. Once again, 17-8, minus 125 favorite though. Chris Curtis lost won 1 of 4 of his last 5. His only loss was to Jack Hermanson, right? Yep, Jack Hermanson via unanimous decision, and he is the plus 105 dog. Kelvin Gastelum, 31 years old, 5 foot 71 and a half inch. Chris Curtis, 35 years old, 5 foot 10 with a 75-inch reach, dude. Dude, Kelvin needs to go back down to 170. I don't know what he's doing. It doesn't make any sense. Chris Curtis is going to have a size advantage over Kelvin Gastelum here. And bro, you can attest to this. How many times have I picked Chris Curtis to win out of every time that he's fought in the UFC?
Never.
Exactly. This week, I will be picking Chris Curtis to beat Kelvin Gastelum, man. If this fight even happens, dude.
What's got you worried about it not happening?
Because Kelvin keeps pulling out of fights. Like every time he's like scheduled to fight, like something happens.
Yeah, he has
Also,
kind of ran into a little bit of bad luck lately.
Real quick before I forget, like the Cynthia Calvillo versus Lupi fight, it wouldn't surprise me if that fight didn't happen because Cynthia couldn't make 115 before. And what makes her think she's going to make it now, dude? I don't know, dude. But let's get back to this fight.
Yeah, and man, I think that honestly, both these guys kind of got a similar matchup. But the only thing that I am going to go with Chris Curtis here. I do think that he's going to be the victor. But man, the only thing that I think he's going to have up against him is that for him defensively, he just kind of shells up and almost kind of waits for one to give one. And Kelvin Gastelum is a slick counterboxer, so if Chris Curtis is going to kind of wait there and wait for Kelvin Gastelum kind of be there to kind of trade shots with him, I do think Kelvin Gastelum can kind of smartly outbox him. So I think Chris Curtis has got to elevate his defense just a little bit. But I do think that Chris Curtis just riding a little more momentum at this point. Even the Kelvin Gastelum, 31 years old, dude, that is nuts. I literally had to take a double take and look at the screen. Like, dude, I'm 31 years old. He has been in the UFC for at least 23 years by now. Like, how is he 31 years old? Just nuts, man. But yeah, Curtis got all the momentum right now. So crazy to think that he's an underdog. I don't know why, but I think it would at least be even. But I mean, I guess the line's about right. The line's about right. So.
Yeah, we are both going action man, Chris Curtis there. So, dude, that's going to decision though. Moving on up. How many different picks we got so far? 3?
Right.
All right. We got the star that everyone likes to talk about, the rising star, young star, the youngest fighter in the UFC, 7-0, Raul El Nino Problema Rosas Jr., taking on Christian C-Rod Rodriguez. As I said, Raul Rosas Jr. 7-0. C-Rod is going to be 8-1. Raul Rosas, 18 years old, 5'9" with a 67-inch reach. C-Rod is going to be 25 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach, dude. El Nino Problema is going to be minus 245 favorite, and C-Rod a plus 190 dog, man. I'm going to let you break this down and let me know who you're going for this week, brother.
Man, it's definitely interesting. I know that you were a little skeptical of Rosas coming in his last fight, and I was too. Even though I did think that he was going to beat Jay Perrin, I thought that it was going to be a little bit of a slower performance. I know you thought that Jay Perrin had a chance in that fight, but he went out there and absolutely blew Jay Perrin's doors off. So as far as all that octagon rust, or not octagon rust, but kind of octagon jitters, just getting nervous going in there before your first UFC fight, he went out there and shattered all those myths. He was definitely went in there composed, ready to go. I do think Christian Rodriguez is a tough matchup. He is what looks like he's 1-1 in the UFC right now. Got a loss to Jonathan Pierce and got a win against Weems here, but man, I do think that Raul Rosas should be able to. I think he should be able to get the dub here. Let's go, Rosas.
All right, dude. For this one, I just want to see Rosas Jr. get punched a few times, see how he handles any sort of pressure, and that's kind of how I feel, dude. I do know that I believe Christian Rodriguez, C-Rod, I believe he fought JSP Pierce. Is that who he lost to?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
who it was.
And he had him in a deep guillotine, dude. Dude's tough. I'm gonna rock with the dog again this week, dude. Once again, El Nino Problema has not impressed me. Jay Perrin got cut immediately. So I guess UFC, that goes to show what they thought about him. I didn't think he was that bad, to be honest. But Christian Rodriguez, 25 years old, looks like he is a problem himself with at 8-1. But Jonathan JSP got a cardio for days. El Nino Problema, it's not like that, dude. I believe this is going to be a good fight, to be honest. And I'm going Christian C-Rod Rodriguez here. I don't know why. Something tells me that this guy talking about how he could beat everyone in the division right now, dude. He's kind of reminding me of like Aileen Perez, how she came in and was like, I'm going to beat Amanda Nunes and gets armbarred by Stephanie Egger. Dude, I think Raul Rosas Jr. loses here this weekend. But, you know, the odds aren't too wide, so it wouldn't surprise me too much. Shouldn't surprise y'all too much if it was to happen. I'm going C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez. So is that pick number 4 different?
Yeah, that was
right.
4. You got all the dogs.
Dude, I do what I do. Moving on up, we got the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland, taking on the Argentine Dagger, Santiago Ponzinibbio. Kevin Holland, 23-9. Last fought Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson, dude, broke his hand, but for those of you who don't know, it was 4 or 5 months ago now, yeah? 3 months ago.
Back in December.
But, yeah, so I guess it takes what, like 6-8 weeks for like a hand to heal or something like that. So looks like he's back to training already. Santiago Ponzinibbio, dude, he was getting knuckled up by Alex Morono, dude. Every round he was getting knuckled up, and then he froze Alex Morono with the ugliest shot. He's like, dude, his face was like stuck like that. I felt bad for him. I was like, oh
yeah, dude, it looked like he had a seizure. That shit was crazy. Like literally just knocked him frozen shut.
yeah. Kevin Holland minus 280 favorite, as he should be. Argentine Dagger plus 225 dog. Kevin Holland, 30 years old, 6'3" with an 81-inch reach. Santiago Ponzinibbio, 36 years old, 6 foot with a 73-inch reach. Dude, there's a 10-inch reach basically for Kevin Holland. It's crazy, dude. Damn. I got Kevin Holland by finish. Anyway possible. This was an early bet that I got in on. I think I got it in Kevin Holland by finish anyway at plus 150. So that's in a few parlays I already have already. Which way are you going this week, man? And also, did you see the backstage scuffle or all the little fucking video coming out of Jorge and Trailblazer getting into it? It's like every fight week, Kevin Holland gets into it with a person backstage now.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what it was about. I didn't get to see what all the commotion was for, but I am definitely interested to see what kind of comes up of it. Because as you said, it seems that he's almost getting into a fight with everybody that he's on a card with, whether they're in his division or not. And most of the time, he ends up fighting with someone that's in his division. Maybe he knows that it kind of plans fight for the future, kind of moving forward. Let's say Burns loses and Kevin Holland wins. I mean, I can see a Kevin Holland and Jorge Masvidal fight. I mean, that'd be a pretty damn fun fight. But I do think that in terms of this matchup, Ponzinibbio definitely has the explosive power, more technical of the two. Kevin Holland has the reach. His problem is he fights too much like Stephen Struve. He does not use his reach at all. I mean, he literally stands in the pocket and just wings punches at dudes. And he fights like he's got the reach disadvantage when he can literally stand at ranges to pick guys apart. The only time I ever really see him do that was against Joaquin Buckley. Other than that, he literally just stands right in front of the guy and just tries to trade, kind of go blow for blow. You try to do that with Ponzinibbio, that's a wrong guy to do it against. He is the better athlete. Chin's a little bit better at this point, more durable. If he fights at the range, he should be able to get the win. But man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of almost feeling what Austin is saying, man. I do think that Ponzinibbio, he's got that one touch, man, and if Kevin Holland hangs in there too long, he can get cracked, dude. So, you know what? Obviously, you got a bunch of dogs you're riding with. I'll throw one in here too.
I ain't done, brother. I ain't done today yet. I ain't done.
I know. But let's go. Let's go Ponzinibbio.
All right, that is our fifth different pick. So that means we will have more than 5 this week. So we will pick 5 out of the however many we have to put our pick champ up on the line. Give Dorian a chance to win it back this week. Moving on up, brother. One that I know me and you are both a fan of. Going to be a featured fight of the night, dude. Rob Font going to be taking on Adrian Yanez, dude. Rob Font, the number 11 bantamweight in the world. Adrian Yanez, the number 13 bantamweight in the world. Rob Font lost his last 2, and bro, it's like after the Cody Garbrandt win, it's like he's just like in his last 2 fights, he just got knocked down like 7 times. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, dude. Rob Font, a slight underdog, plus 150. Adrian Yanez hasn't lost in the UFC so far, 16-3 overall, minus 180 favorite. Rob Font, 35 years old, 5'8" with a 71-inch reach, jazz singer's ultimate guide. No. Adrian Yanez, 29 years old, 5'7" with a 70-inch reach, dude. Is it any secret here? I'm going Adrian Yanez. I'm pretty sure you are as well, brother. Break that fight down for the people. And I've heard a lot of people this week on the Rob Font side. Do you see their opinion at all? Bro, dude, Adrian Yanez's hands are so quick. It's going to be a boxing match. Rob Font just got knocked down by Cheeto Vera multiple times, dude. Dude, it just...
Yeah, I think so. I think for Adrian Yanez, yeah, Austin. I'm riding with you this time, Austin. But I think for Adrian Yanez, for me, he's one of the guys that I've been very high on. I'm super excited about watching him fight. His boxing is so crisp, but on the other side, Rob Font also very crisp boxer. Kind of honestly, I would say probably for this division before Adrian Yanez came along in terms of just pure boxing, probably the best pure boxer in the division before Yanez came along. And then you could say maybe Peter Yan as well. But, some of those guys have some of the best boxing. And I think this is just fireworks matchup. Rob Font does tend to use a little bit more of his wrestling. And I think you can see a little bit of his wrestling because no one's really attempted Yanez as far as trying to take him down. Davey Grant tried taking him down a couple of times, but he didn't really have too much success with it. But I am curious to see if anybody's willing to actually test him out. Now, they do say that Adrian Yanez is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but he's never had to actually use it. So we don't know if he's actually super dangerous off his back or not. So I think you could see Rob Font potentially try some takedowns, but I think in the end, I just think Yanez is too tough, and I think I think he hits the snooze button on Rob Font. Jose Aldo knocked him down a couple times, as you said. Cheeto knocked him down a couple times. Cheeto could have finished him, but he kind of played with his food in that fight against Rob Font. But I think Yanez, that's one dude who, once he smells blood, he's like a shark, man. It goes for the kill. So I think Yanez should be able to. I think he gets the finish here, man. I think either second or third round stoppage.
Couldn't agree more, brother. Couldn't agree more. I feel you just the same. Adrian Yanez, let's take a little bit to get started, dude. And we've seen him lose round 1 multiple times. Randy Costa, not even in the UFC anymore. Randy Costa was knuckling him up round 1. And then Randy Costa's only got 1 round in him. And Adrian Yanez came back and smoked him round 2 with the body to the uppercut. That was a nasty combo he got Randy Costa out of there with. Moving on up, co-main event, brother. Are you excited for this one? We got Gilbert Dorino Burns taking on Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. Gilbert Burns, 21-5. Jorge Masvidal, damn it, dude. At least they want to sell me this UFC 248 shirt. At least that has something to do with UFC this time, you know? All right. Get that off the screen. All right, here we go. Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, 35-16, dude. Gilbert Burns, minus 500. Heavy favorite. Jorge Masvidal plus 360 dog. Gilbert Burns, 36 years old, 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. Jorge Masvidal, 38 years old. Damn, dude. 5'11" with a 74-inch reach. So both dudes are pretty old now, dude. Let's not try to act like they're not. Still at the top of the division though, or I guess Burns is. Jorge's down at 12, dude. But I'm gonna let you ride with Austin here this week. Let the people know who you're picking and let them know why. Break this fight down, and then I'll give my opinion.
Man, I can't call him a journeyman, Austin, but I do ultimately agree with you. I do think that I think the Burns is going to be a little bit too much. So as far as betting lines, there's no way I want to bet straight up on Gilbert Burns because he is what people can say to be chinny. So if he does go out there and try to have a boxing match with Jorge Masvidal, I mean, that's not going to be good for him at all if he's trying to go out there and box Jorge. But I think if he goes out there, honestly, the way that I think that I can see it go is that we know Jorge's a good counter striker. He's got really good leg kicks and he's got really good body kicks, good boxing. The way that I can see it going is that Jorge gets throw one of his leg kicks or one of his body kicks. I think Gilbert catches it, takes him down. I don't think he submits him because Jorge has really good submission defense. Has pretty good takedowns for the most part, but even if he does get taken down, has pretty good get-ups for the most part. Or he can defend himself really well from submission. So I don't think Burns is going to be able to submit him per se. But I do think that he'll end up kind of controlling him on the ground a little bit, kind of wearing out Jorge. And I think later on able to kind of more or less kind of box him up on the feet a little bit, kind of mix it in with the takedowns, kind of more of a methodical performance. But I think he's able to kind of ground out Jorge in a decision here. Are you on mute?
Fair enough, dude. Yes, I was on mute. To be fair, this is probably my best value on the card, to be honest. Truthfully, I just can't see anyone managing the last 3 rounds with Jemiah losing to a guy on a losing streak than this guy in MMA. That's exactly why we love this sport. Cheeto Nation popped in here. Appreciate you stopping by today, brother. I wouldn't be surprised if George KOs him. It would have to be early. And this is where I'm going, brother. I'm on Cheeto Nation side. Bro, if you just now said it yourself that Jorge has decent takedown defense. He has great submission like defense. Only been subbed 2 times ever, and the last time was like 9 years ago now. So I don't think that the Gilbert's going to sub him, at least not early. And if this is on the feet, dude, Jorge is live for anyone. Durinho gets dropped by jabs, dude. It just happens. He don't have the best shit in the world, and we've seen that. That being said, dude, at a plus 380 dog, something like that, plus 360 dog, dude, I gotta go game bread here, and I'm confident that he has a chance. I'm not saying that I'm confident that he's going to win this fight, but I am picking him to win this fight via knockout because I just see Gilbert Burns just not having the best chin in the world. Don't get me wrong. I love Gilbert Burns as a fighter. He's the nicest dude in the world. But I just think it's just time. It's just time that MMA throws some dice at us, shakes the world back up, lets us know that anyone can win on any given night. And game bred Jorge Masvidal gets the knockout over Gilbert Burns this Saturday for our, 6th different pick?
Yeah, we're starting to pile them up now. Damn.
Yeah, man. So that being said, let's move up to the main event of the night. Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya taking on Alex Pereira. I may be dyslexic. I read things backwards like that all the time. I don't know why. But before we get started with this fight, if you guys haven't already, please put a thumbs up on this video. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you doing? We're here before and after every single UFC fight week on Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm giving you my opinions. Dorian's giving you his opinions. We're making our picks, and every Friday or every pay-per-view fight week Friday, catch me for Change the Cheddar, where I give you my a few parlays, $10 or less. We're trying to win $100 or more off that $10 or less. So with that being said, man, let's get into this main event. Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. Numero dos. Alex Pereira, Poatan, taking on the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. Alex Pereira, dude, 7-1, hasn't lost in the UFC, hasn't lost since his first fight against that fat dude that choked him.
Which is weird.
Israel Adesanya, 23-2, last loss to Alex, but hasn't lost at 185 aside from that at all, dude. Poatan, the plus 120 dog. Israel Adesanya, minus 145 favorite. Champion is the dog right now, dude. It's crazy. 35 years old for Poatan, 6'4" with an 80-inch reach. Yeah, right. The dude's like 6'9" at this point. Israel Adesanya, minus 145 dog, 33 years old, 6'4" with 80-inch reach. Dude, how are they listed the same height when Alex is like a clear 3 inches taller than him?
I mean, yeah, Alex is at least what 7
a foot taller than him this weekend, you know.
I mean, yeah, he's at least 7'2". So I mean, they're short. They're definitely shortchanging him when it comes to the height on here. I mean, solid Shaq.
All right, Gilbert may get dropped, but I believe he's more elite. He is the better overall fighter. Joe, Matt, you're a sniffing glue if you think George wins that fight. But Joe, I appreciate you stopping by, brother. I'm not going to be risking all my marbles on it, but I got to be honest. At a huge dog odds and as good takedown defense as Jorge has, he's live. He's live. I think Izzy will do more. Okay, so now we're on Izzy. I think Izzy will do more wrestling in this fight, maybe submission. Who knows? Possibly. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm late. Had blind below guide to the vid. Goodness, my money for this one. I want Pereira to sweep, but I see Izzy damn near knock out Alex in round 1 or the last fight. Yeah, bro, this is a pretty close fight. I see a bunch of people split. I'm gonna let you break it down, dude. Let the people know who you're picking, and then I'll go on my end.
Man, I mean, there really shouldn't really be a guess for me, you know, just as far as who we're riding with, baby.
Oh, that's the new Izzy shirt?
Yes, sir.
Oh, does he have all the arrows in it? You got to stand up for a second so you can let the people see.
Got the new shirt.
I'll put your full screen. Let me get the banner off here.
Becomes the hunted.
That's pretty dope. He's got 3 arrows in him.
Yeah. Or he's got the 1, 2. Yeah, I think it's 2. It might be the 3rd. Yeah, I think it's the 3rd right there. For the 3 losses.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super dope shirt, and man, that's exactly who I'm riding with, man. No, we talked about it last time, so I don't want to elaborate too much on the kickboxing performances, but Izzy kind of said it himself, you know, he's every single fight that they've had, he was winning it until he wasn't. So it's not like Alex has gone in and just blown the doors off of Izzy all 3 times. Izzy has just managed to, honestly, he's managed to kind of choke the situation a little bit. You know, in the last fight, I think with that, I still say there was something with when Alex checked that leg kick at Izzy's in the 5th round and Izzy stumbled, it completely took away his mobility. And it made Izzy a standing target. So I do think Izzy is going to have to be a little bit more calculated when it comes to his leg kicks. What I'd like to see from him a little bit more is when he gets backed up against the fence, he goes for the clinch a lot of times to try to collude the damage from Alex Pereira. So he's able to kind of
too good inside though. Like he's good at those short hooks,
right. But Izzy would a lot of times hang on defensively. But a lot of what I would like to see from him is maybe let's throw some elbows in the clinch, kind of maybe on the way out. Let's throw some knees in the clinch. Him just letting Alex kind of walk him down, and Alex knowing that all he's going to do is just clinch and kind of throw him off of him. I'd like to see Izzy get a little bit more offensive with his clinch positioning, whether it's to turn it into more offensive wrestling. You know, I've been watching a little bit of his All Access on his YouTube page, and does look like he has been working on his wrestling a little bit. So I don't know if he's going to come out in his singlet and shoot immediately when the fight starts, but I do think he's going to implement his wrestling a lot more because he kind of took him down an accident in the first fight when they it looked like Alex had actually went to take Izzy down, and Izzy kind of reversed position and took Alex down. But Izzy really didn't try to shoot for that takedown, but I think he's actually going to diligently work for takedowns. He was able to get good ground and pound off in the first fight against Alex, so I think that Izzy's going to kind of look for something similar to that, especially seeing how he, as Austin said, came so close to knocking him out in the first round. Izzy's definitely got the ability to do it, man. He's just got to stay with it for all 25 minutes. And seeing how he's looked in his press conferences so far this week, Izzy, he looks completely dialed in. I mean, he is kind of shortchanging the media in terms of, the access, and he's kind of been shortchanging as far as his answers just because he's
he was yelling at someone about, like, in the background, hey, quit making noise back there. I'm up here answering the question. I was like, bro, what the hell?
Yeah, he is like, bro, I'm trying to think. And then, like, I remember, like, people kept trying to ask him questions about what's next, and he was just kind of, yes, no, really just one answer. Everything was just, but I do think it's just that he's so focused on this one opportunity because he knows this is his one chance to make it right against Alex, and I do think he ends up finally making it right. Last style bender, let's go, baby.
All right, first time I've seen a fighter lose 3 times, but still as a favorite. That's true. That's true.
That's absolutely true, McBreezy. I haven't seen that.
I think the best underdog pick on this card is Chris Curtis. Yeah, but I mean, he's barely an underdog. He's kind of an underdog, like plus 105. It's basically even money at that point. What are the chances Alex move up to light heavyweight permanently if he wins? Who knows? Let's see.
I think he's still fixing out a little bit of middleweight.
And still, everyone likes to point out how Izzy almost KO'd Alex round 1 and why this will win this fight and why he will win this fight. But after rocking, Alex can finish him for the next 2 rounds. Yeah. Bro, for those of you who don't know, I did pick Alex to beat Izzy in the last fight. Yeah, right, Dorian. So I was correct on that one. Something just tells me Dorian kind of like laid it out in fold. I've been seeing Izzy wrestling a whole lot. I seen a behind the scenes interview with I think the Mac Life that said that if he had one fighter to coach him through this past training camp, like it would have been DC, but he was like, I shouldn't have said that. I already said too much. So we know he's coming in with that heavy wrestling game plan. And I also have an Israel Adesanya shirt on.
Hey,
the last style bender.
Hey,
in the last airbender from Avatar, the last airbender from back in the day. I am going Izzy as well. So that is going to be our picks for this week. I do think Izzy probably wins by decision. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to put himself in any danger that he does not have to, dude. I think if he does get a finish, it'll be ground and pound or a sub. I don't think he knocks him out on the feet. I think he's going to be super safe, and I hope so, dude. I want to see Izzy get that belt back, the last style bender, and new this week, baby, and new. Let's see. Okay, that's the last one. Do you guys think Izzy? And that was going to be my next question. Do you guys think they fight again if Izzy wins?
So I remember when Izzy first lost to Alex, he said initially, hey, I'm going to fight him. I'm going to beat him. And then after that, we're going to run it back again. And then I'm going to beat him again. I do think that there could be a point to where if Izzy is to go out and win this fight, if he's to win it in a lackluster fashion, there could be an opportunity to where they might want to hold off that fight, maybe have Alex fight one more fight. Maybe have Izzy fight one more fight, kind of try to wait to get that fight back because you don't want to try to burn it up in succession 3 times in a row like that if you have the opportunity there. But I do think that eventually, if Izzy is the win, maybe 1 or 2 fights for each of them, and then they run it back at some point.
Yeah, I don't want to say it right away, and I know Izzy don't want it right away. He's like, damn, I still gotta fight this motherfucker again. So that being said, dude, let's get our picks, nail them down real quick. So our different picks this week were Jorge Masvidal versus Gilbert Burns. That's different pick number 1. Our second different pick is Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. Our third different pick is Raul Rosas Jr. taking on Christian Rodriguez. That's our third different one. Our fourth different one is Michelle Waterson Gomez taking on Luana Pinheiro. Fifth different one is GM3 versus Joe. Yeah.
Who's that?
GM3 versus Joe Pyfer.
Oh yeah. That was it.
And our sixth different one is Sam Hughes versus Jacqueline. Sam Page versus Jackie did. So
yeah. Since you picked dogs, you can pick. Since you pick most dogs, you can pick whichever fight you want to leave off and on, and then whichever one we leave for the substitute. If you want to do that, since we got 6, unless you want to make all 6 of them, and then we can do it like that. But
then we can go 3 and 3 and tie, so that's pointless.
Yeah.
Do I take Burns versus Masvidal off, dude? Do I have a favorite?
I think the only favorite you have is Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland, Ponzinibbio.
Dude, let's see what the chat say. What's the one we should take off?
Yeah. Throw out the picks again, just to see for like your vantage point, because you picked mostly dogs. So right. I was going to say
picks were Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal, Kevin Holland versus Santiago, Paul Rosas versus Christian Rodriguez, Michelle Waterson versus Luana Pinheiro, GM3 versus Joe Pyfer, and Sam Hughes versus Jackie Amarim. Dude, I kind of want to leave that one on.
Looks like
No, exactly. I'm kind of rocking more of what fucking Benjamin Chode is saying. Let's just get it over with early in the night where I can relax, watch the main card. So we got Benjamin Chode saying take off George. Swayze Dalton saying toss off earliest prelim. I am against that one because that one I'm confident Sam Page has got it, and she's a big dog. Take off
Rodriguez. You got Rodriguez versus Rosas, right?
Yeah.
Rodriguez versus Rosas. He might be kind of right on it. He ain't lying. But I mean, I don't know.
Dude, I'm gonna take Gamebred versus Gamebred versus Gilbert Burns, and then if any of them fall out that like we need, luckily we have that one in there, and thankfully they'll keep that one in there. But I'm still picking Jorge to win that fight. I still think that he has it. He's got it in the bag. What about Cynthia Calvillo? We picked the same in that fight.
Ain't nobody picking Cynthia Calvillo over here, buddy.
No one's picking Cynthia Calvillo, brother.
Not a chance.
Have faith in the young blood. I do not, brother. I do not. Wise man.
This is the second time you've picked against him, dude.
He's not, dude. When I saw Sean O'Malley, I was immediately like, damn, that dude, like, what the hell? With, like, this dude, I'm like, what is everyone seeing this dude? He went to decision with this dude on Contender Series. Like, I don't see it. But, hey, I don't know. Maybe I will get proven wrong at some point. Maybe after this fight, I'll be like, you know what? This dude's the real deal. It just is what it is. But until I see it, brother, I'm not. I just don't see it. So that being said, those are going to be our 5 picks for this week. That is going to be Kevin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio, Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez, Michelle Waterson Gomez taking on Luana Pinheiro, GM3 taking on Joe Pyfer, and Sam Hughes taking on Jacqueline Amarim. So those are our 5 different picks. If any of them fall out, I do have Gamebred in the Gamebred versus Jorge Masvidal. Let's see, Michelle Wonder Girl Watterson, yeah, because Wonder Boy is the real karate hottie.
Wonder Girl. I didn't even think about that. They just like swap places.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like Lush Lemaine. Don't blame me. Yeah, it makes sense. I remember when she was hot a couple of years ago when she was with Team Alpha Male. Who is she talking about? Oh, Cynthia Calvillo, dude. I've always thought she looked like a frog, but that's just me. That's kind of fucked up. I shouldn't have said that.
She was cool. She was kind of cool at one point. I do remember like she had like a little bit of a push, and I remember, like she smoked weed. I think she ended up getting suspended. She might have had a fight get dropped down to a no contest because she ended up getting busted for marijuana in her system after a fight. So, but she
also
was
said match canceled. Oh my goodness!
So, you're out of here, buddy. This is Golden Octagon Podcast with Dorian Rose. I'm here for Matt for a couple weeks while he's got some stuff he's getting worked out.
Until the frog comments can blow over. Oh no.
Gotta give it a few weeks.
But, yeah. You got anything else before we get out of here? We've been on here for about an hour and a half.
Nah, man. Good pod. Actually, longer than I thought, but not really because I knew we'd be excited to talk about this card.
Hell yeah. Just some stuff to look forward to for the rest of the week. If you don't know, I will be here live Friday night post weigh-in for Change the Cheddar, where I'm going to give you or you guys a few picks, $10 worth of parlays, trying to win $100 or more. Dorian, you are more than welcome to join me for that if you want to. No pressure. Of course, I know you do work late. So Change the Cheddar will be live on Friday. You guys can stop by for that. And then we might have a post fight on Saturday or Sunday, one of the two, something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll be live here Saturday. We'll be here live Saturday or Sunday. I will let you guys know on my community tab, let you guys know what you guys think. So keep look forward to that. I got a card video coming out, or Golden Pack is going to be Sunday, another card video Monday, and it all restarts next week. Back live here on Wednesday for another Golden Octagon MMA podcast. And we just keep this train rolling, baby, grinding away over here on the Golden Octagon. Yeah. So let's see. Last few comments before we get out of here. I'm new here to the channel. Do you guys do post fights live? We normally don't do post fights. We usually just wait until the following Wednesday to just, talk about everything. But I think for the pay-per-views, we're going to try to start doing live post-fight pay-per-views. That way, for the next week, we can just kind of talk about this upcoming weekend fights, and we don't spend too much time on the previous weekend's fights. But for the fight nights, we usually just save everything for Wednesday. We talk about previous fights and upcoming fights all on the Wednesday. So I know it's Wednesday. Not a lot of people like to hear, but we try to run through it as fast as we can. All right. So, hey, if you guys are new, I appreciate you stopping by. I greatly do, brother. So thank both of you. Do you guys give George any chance? I picked him to win, brother. I picked him to win. I'm running with Masvidal. All right. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back Friday. Hell yeah, brother. I will be here live, probably around the same time. Once again, my goal of Change the Cheddar on Friday is take $10 or less and turn it into $100 or more. And last UFC, what was it? The fight night in San Antonio. Dorian can attest. We talked last week. I won about $200 off of I think $5 total, something like that. So I cashed out last pay-per-view fight night. Tried to win some more this past weekend on PFL, but I mean I didn't win shit. Let's see.
That's how it happens, man.
Did you see Volk and Whitaker WWE promo? I did not, brother. And I got to be honest, I'm not too interested in that. We did talk about the WWE, the merger, a little bit earlier in the show on the news. But altogether, I haven't watched that since I started watching WWE. I mean, since I started watching UFC for the most part. I haven't watched WWE since at the latest, bro. 2010 was probably the latest that I had maybe
same
watched the match or thing. So I really don't know any of the new people or anything that I would be more interested in. I have no idea. Not really interested in it too much.
Yeah, no, same thing. I'd say probably around that 2009, 2010 era was about when I stopped watching wrestling too. So I didn't really watch too much of it. I did see like a screen cap of like it looked like Volk and Whitaker within some belts, so it looked like it was something kind of funny. They're both kind of funny guys, so maybe just the accent that makes me laugh, but they're both kind of funny. So I might check it out to see if it makes me laugh some.
All right, I pulled a Sugar Sean O'Malley green out of 25 Prism. I thought of you, well, brother. Congratulations on that. That's fire. Like even if you're not a fan of Sean O'Malley, there are plenty of people that are fans of Sugar Sean O'Malley. So you won't have any issues selling that if you just want to have some money for it instead, brother. So congratulations if you're a fan, and congratulations if you're going to sell it, brother. You'll get some dollars for it. But that's going to be all from us here this time. Remember, I just talked about my schedule for this week. I will try to start posting like on my community tab, like the schedule for the week, because I know like a lot of people don't know when I'm going live, and I really try to schedule the live like 2 hours ahead. I don't really give people too much time, but yeah, I'm gonna try to put out a schedule from now on. But yeah, that's gonna be all. Do you got anything else, Dorian?
No, man, we're good to go. Appreciate the comments and viewers. Appreciate y'all always listening to us, and and good pod this week, man.
Hell yeah. As always, I am Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. Thank y'all all very much for even if you stopped by for just a second or you've been here the whole time. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not. That's going to be all from us here this time on the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. And we'll catch y'all probably Sunday or Friday or next week. That's going to be all. Peace.
Peace.